TravelSites.com presents America's Weirdest Tourist Attractions. There's no other country in the world that has as large of a collection of weird and wacky tourist attractions as the United States. No matter which state you're in, you'll probably find something fascinating that you wouldn't imagine had existed, like attractions dedicated to hair, paper, or even nuclear waste. If you can think it up, odds are that you can find it in America's vast array of oddball tourist attractions. We're going to show you some of the best that we found. Check them out and let us know which of these you find the most shocking. First off, the International Banana Museum. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the International Banana Museum in Mecca, California, has the world's largest collection of banana-related items. If you're going to visit, be sure to allocate a lot of time there since they have over 25,000 collectibles on display. Other interesting things to do include dressing up in their fun banana wear and posing for pictures in front of the giant banana statue. You can also purchase some awesome banana merchandise and stop by the Banana Bar for their popular banana milkshake, homemade banana ice cream, and many other treats. The Hammer Museum in Haines, Alaska. You'd never imagine that someone would dedicate an entire museum to the otherwise ordinary tool, the hammer. But that's exactly what they've done in Haines, Alaska. There are over 2,000 hammers and artifacts on display and another 8,000 in storage, making it the world's largest collection of hammers. You'll find a hammer that dates back to the Roman times and another that crafted the Pyramid of Menkaure. The museum preserves the history of this versatile tool that impacted various aspects of our nation's history, while also exhibiting how different industries use hammers to this day. The Salt and Pepper Shaker Museum. This museum in Gatlinburg, Tennessee is often called the world's only museum dedicated to salt and pepper shakers. It was the brainchild of an archaeologist named Andrea Ludden who, after falling in love with the history of how salt and pepper shakers came to be and learning about the creators and artists who put their own spin on it, spent 25 years collecting and curating the museum with over 20,000 sets of shakers from all over the world. You'll find thousands of varieties, some of which date back to the 1500s. Barney Smith's Toilet Seat Art Museum. This is one of the weirdest attractions we've got on the list. What makes it even better is that the museum, dedicated to toilet seats, was created by a retired master plumber. The museum is housed in San Antonio, Texas, and has nearly 1,500 toilet seats that Barney Smith converted to works of art over the years. Some of these are immediate tributes from when Barney would visit shows as a guest, while there are others dedicated to random things like Star Wars or cosmetic dentistry. Carhenge. This is a humorous replica of the famous Stonehenge in England. Carhenge in Alliance, Nebraska comprises sculptures created from cars and car parts. The attraction was built during the 1980s by Jim Reinders as a memorial to his father, who loved cars and everything car-related. Placed in a circle resembling Stonehenge, the attraction comprises 39 vintage American automobiles, all of which are painted a matte gray. The heel-stone is a 1962 Cadillac. Additional aspects of the museum include artworks created from car parts, and the entire attraction has appeared in many movies and television programs over the years. Cadillac Ranch. Another unique tourist attraction dedicated to cars is, of course, the Cadillac Ranch. You'll find it alongside the famous Route 66 in Amarillo, Texas, and it's now one of the most iconic roadside attractions in the country. The art installation comprises 10 Cadillacs, all of which are splattered in paint and graffiti and are half buried noses first in a row. The sculpture is the creation of Stanley Marsh III, a local millionaire who chose classic models dating from 1948 to 1963, also considered the golden age of the American automobile. The world's largest ball of twine. I don't know why large balls of string fascinate Americans and visiting tourists alike, but don't be surprised to find several attractions across the nation all claiming to have the world's largest ball of twine. This particular one in Cawker City, Kansas, seems to be the true holder of the title. It was started in 1953 by Frank Stober, and to this day they host a twine-a-thon, where more twine is added to the mixture to ensure that it's constantly growing larger. At its last weigh-in in 2013, the ball of twine weighed nearly 20,000 pounds. The Nuclear Waste Adventure Trail and Museum. Only in the United States will you find a tourist attraction dedicated to nuclear waste. Located in Missouri, the Nuclear Waste Adventure Trail and Museum is informative, historic, and offers really unique views spanning around 50 acres. Start your adventure in the museum's interpretive center, where you'll get an understanding of how the largest explosive factories in the country rose up to become a towering mountain of radioactive uranium, mercury, and TNT, all entombed for your safety, of course. Now, the site is popular for hiking, birdwatching, stargazing, and much more. The UFO Watchtower. Americans love a good UFO story, and many of the sightings you'll find in newspaper tabloids or even YouTube have been spotted from this location, July Mescaline of Hooper in Colorado. Chosen for the energy vortexes that are found on the property, people come from far and wide to camp out at the observation tower and try to contact other life forms. Many visitors also present offerings to the aliens and buy them unique gifts from the gift shop, or even host their very own UFO-themed weddings to celebrate in style. The Winchester Mystery House. Now, when Sarah Winchester lost her husband and children, she spent the next 38 years renovating an unfinished farmhouse into a house of architectural oddities. Some say she built the house as a way to pass the time and not dwell on the grief of losing her family, while others have a more sinister theory, which says she built the house to confuse the evil spirits that sought her out. Either way, the fascinating attraction pulls people of all ages with its miles of secret passageways, stairs, and doors that lead to nowhere or have hidden entries, and even a grand ballroom that was built using almost no nails. Some say that we've yet to identify every single hidden oddity in the house. You'll find the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, so if you happen to be in the area, be sure to stop by. Leila's Hair Museum. Now, this is a museum entirely dedicated to hair. So if even the thought of a hairball makes you heave, then Leila's museum isn't the right attraction for you. If you can get past the idea of hundreds of hair-based artifacts, you'll find that Leila's is actually quite amazing. Based in Independence, Missouri, it's the only museum in the world to feature over 2,000 pieces of jewelry and 600 different wreaths, all of which are made from human hair. Much of the hair comes down from the Victorian period, while you'll even find celebrity hair artifacts that once belonged to Marilyn Monroe or Michael Jackson. The world's largest chest of drawers. Now, this is one of my favorites. It's located in High Point, North Carolina, which is the home of furniture manufacturing. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a large chest of drawers. The sculpture is 32 feet high and was originally built to mark the city as the furniture capital of the world. It's now a favorite photo stop for people who are passing through the area because it's obviously Instagram worthy. There are even very large socks sticking out of the drawers. Now, JELL-O is one of America's favorite desserts, rising in fame from the 50s and the 60s, and it's somewhat of a status symbol since at the time only those with a refrigerator could make JELL-O. Americans across the nation would present intricate molds as post-dinner desserts. And now at the JELL-O Gallery Museum, you can delve into this culinary phenomenon, learning about how it rose to fame. Housed in Leroy, New York, the museum has original advertising art, collectibles like molds and spoons, toys, recipe books, and tons of memorabilia. Ben & Jerry's Flavor Graveyard. One of America's other favorite desserts is, of course, ice cream, and Ben & Jerry have made a name for themselves in that business. The Ben & Jerry's Flavor Graveyard in Waterbury, Vermont offers a fun time for the entire family. As one of the big-time U.S. ice cream producers, Ben & Jerry have come up with a lot of different flavors. Some of these have become very popular, and others just didn't quite make the cut. The Flavor Graveyard is a way for Ben & Jerry's to pay tribute to those that never quite made it to mass production. You'll see adorable resin headstones, each of which highlights the flavor along with a clever commentary of the lives they led. The National Mustard Museum. Now, no list of weird attractions would be complete without this one. The entire building in Middleton, Wisconsin is dedicated to mustard, and visitors can spend hours browsing all the fun and interesting memorabilia detailing the creation of mustard, its history over the years, and relative media and advertising dedicated to it. You'll see an array of items like vintage advertisements, antique tins and jars, and over 5,000 mustards from all 50 states and over 70 different countries. Check out their calendar of events as well, because they host several mustard-related competitions throughout the year that are fun for visitors of all ages. The Museum of Bad Art. Now, you may have taken a tour of a museum of fine art or a museum of modern art, but have you ever seen a museum of bad art? Check this off your list the next time you're in Massachusetts. It's housed in several locations throughout the state. The collection has around 600 pieces, but only around 60 of them are in rotation at exhibits at any given time. You can go in and search for them each time you visit because it's a new experience every time. You'll love reading the narrative of each piece, which discusses when the art was created, the art behind the masterpiece, and much more. Famous pieces include that of a cat daydreaming of a dog and of President Kennedy eating ice cream. The National Museum of Funeral History. It's last, but definitely not least on our list. The National Museum of Funeral History in Houston, Texas, is dedicated to the somber and grim world of funerals. There you'll find a ton of funeral-related memorabilia. You'll get to learn interesting facts and be able to browse a collection of rare coffins and one-of-a-kind coffins. There are even a handful of recreations of famous figures in coffins, along with memorabilia from celebrities and public figures like John Paul II, Marilyn Monroe, and Michael Jackson. Share with us, which one of these is your favorite weird tourist attraction in America? Is there one we missed? Do you have a favorite that wasn't on the list? Leave a comment below and let us know about it. Like always, this video is brought to you by TravelSites.com, which helps you get the cheapest and best travel experience. Don't forget to like and subscribe to find more useful travel tips and exciting places for your next travel adventure.